to get into position for the banded rear delt fly. Now there's different versions of the rear delt fly that I have tutorials for. This particular one is going to use both arms at the same time, which is nice. Get it all done at once, right? Faster. And it's also anchored to something. So if you have a door anchor or just somewhere to anchor the band. If you don't have somewhere to anchor the band, the next closest movement to this particular one that can still do both arms is where we have a stability ball that we lean against a wall. And I'll have that listed for you guys to check out instead, okay? So to get into position, what you want to do is, again, have your anchor at about mid-chest height, okay? And put your band in there. The idea is when you're in position, which is going to be similar to like this, you want the band to come in a straight line to your arm when you're in this starting position, okay? That's the idea. So something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but something like that, okay? We're going to have one hand on each band, and your palms, I'm going to probably demonstrate it with my palms facing each other. This is what's called a neutral grip when they face each other, but honestly you can have your palms facing down, that's called pronated, or facing up is called supinated. So any of those grips is fine. It's probably just going to be what feels most comfortable to you, okay? But I'm going to demonstrate a neutral grip. Hi, I'm Razel. If you're a woman in your over 40s like myself and you've been interested in doing resistance training at home with dumbbells or resistance bands, but you're not quite sure, you know, how to begin or how to know you're doing it right, that is what I create, video tutorials that show you just that, as well as full-length tutorials in beautiful outdoor nature settings with chill music, not a bunch of jumping around here. If that sounds like your style, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com. You can wrap the bands around your hand if you want. Your arms are in front of you, and your arms are mostly straight. There's really just a soft elbow, but the arms are basically straight. Your hands are starting, you know, about shoulder width apart. That part doesn't matter so much, as long as when you do the movement, you can get your arms out all the way in line with your torso or even behind your torso a bit, okay? The rear delt muscle is going to be working the most in this range here, not so much when it's at the front. So this front portion doesn't matter quite so much what position you're in. You want to have your feet about shoulder width apart or so with your toes pointed forward. You want to engage your abdominal muscles gently so that when you're pulling the band back, you don't arch the back, okay? That can happen, so keep those abdominal muscles engaged so you can keep that neutral spine. Think about having a nice, relaxed, neutral neck and a broad chest, all right? Okay, so in the starting position, ideally you want to have some tension on the band a little bit, but as I mentioned, it's important to be able to get behind the body. So you want to start wherever you are and have a resistance band level so that you can get behind the body. If you do have a little slack on the band in order to do that, that's okay, all right? All right, so to do the movement, all we're going to do is with our arms here at shoulder height, we're going to be just moving our arms out. So let me just from the front really quick. We're going like this. All right, so my arms are staying here at the same level the whole time. They're just moving out and back behind my body, just like that, okay? All right, so you got your band. Here we go. Now to initiate the movement, I want you to think about pulling your shoulder blades in towards your spine and down, okay? So that's gonna initiate the movement. And as you do that, you're gonna start pulling your arms directly out to your sides, in line with your torso, and then even behind a bit. Our arms are staying mostly straight, as you see with mine. We're not bending the elbows. Pause and squeeze at the top here, or I should say at the back, and then slowly return. When you return to the starting position, try to think about this back of your shoulder muscle, the rear delt. Try to think about that muscle controlling, like it's the thing that's returning it here. So we don't want to just kind of move back like that, but think about that muscle working to let go of the resistance, all right? So let's go ahead and do a few together now. Remember again to pull the shoulder blades in towards the spine and down at the start of each rep, okay? Now, if you feel like, I've had trouble with this where we're supposed to be feeling it here, but I sometimes tend to feel it more here in my upper trap muscles. These are muscles on either side of your neck. If you're noticing that, a couple little ways to kind of just adjust the movement a tiny bit. You might want to think about just lowering the band a little bit. So my arms are basically at shoulder height during the movement, but they could be a little lower, and that would be okay. That would help you to get the muscles here on the sides of your neck out of the picture a little more. And also, really do remember to keep the shoulder blades down and think about even elongating the neck upward. So if you try to think about everything in here being like stretched and elegant, that will help make it so that your rear delts do the movement and not these muscles by your neck, okay? Here's what it looks like from the front. Thanks for being with me today, ladies. Once again, I'm Rayzel, and if you're a woman in your over 40s like myself, and you like my style of teaching, I've got full-length workouts done in beautiful outdoor settings like this using the exercises that I'm teaching. If that sounds good to you, come on over to my website at inspirefulwomen.com.